Yo, what's cracking? Trying out this horizontal one because Vintage Warfare told me that it would bring people that actually watch my channel in versus people that don't watch it. So we shall see. I see one person. So there's one of you out there. What's up, Bloody Motivation? I can see this. This is different being on horizontal. I'm used to it being vertical all the time. What's going on, man? Got two people in here now. We'll give it a bit and get started, or maybe we'll just chill and chat, smoke cigars. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Like, I know people will just automatically say I appreciate it, but I really do appreciate it because that's like, as I've evolved with my channel a bit, I'm just trying to make honest content that I'd actually watch, not just like the same recycled bullshit, necessarily. That's kind of why I wanted to do this live stream because I got a video coming out next week talking about like how to start as like I want everyone to start their own GunTube channel if they're interested in doing so, and like avoiding some of the pitfalls that I ran into at the beginning, first year or two, and then also just talking about what kind of content sucks with things. Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? So we got West Virginia Guns and Goats in here as well. I guess might as well just get started. I'm gonna actually let this one publish to, let's say, my YouTube. Usually I just delete them after I have live streams. I don't actually keep them on my channel. But this one I thought could be constructive on things. Yeah. So I got a video coming out next week about GunTube and how to start your own channel. And there's a few things that I know I left out. Maybe I'll make an addendum if people watch that stuff a little bit better. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is GoPros. They absolutely suck. Do not buy a GoPro to record gun content. A phone is a lot better than a GoPro in most instances. And if you want like that first person view, I would recommend either the Meta glasses, and if you don't want to support that Insta360 like I have, which is just a clip-on one. The GoPros I have either chew through batteries, they die in the sunlight, they have weird aspect ratios, they're annoying to like modify it. Like Jared gave me one. Yeah, DJI Pocket 3. Yeah. So Jared over at Guns and Gadgets actually just gave me like a GoPro 10 Black, I think. And that thing, if you leave a battery in it, if it's fully charged, it'll be dead in 2 days or dead in 3 days. And I bought new batteries for it. It's just the way that it operates. And like I would think it would be less susceptible to the heat. But like also like the camera that I record myself with in my garage. And thanks, man. But the camera that I record with in my garage, that thing I took to, I forgot which industry event, and it was like overheated in 2 minutes. It's like a Sony ZV-1. So any of like those DSLR cameras and stuff like that, you'll see like the real pros, they have like a cooler of ice and they put them in a Ziploc bag and put their camera in there like every 10 minutes because those things overheat really bad. So like the phone is really good. I think the Insta 360s are nice. I see people with like the actual 360 one. They'll hold it and it's like a sphere and they record with that. But don't get GoPros if you're going to start a gun channel. They don't work out. The only instance that I could see it working out is like if you want one camera on your target and one camera on you or something like that. You know, like a GoPro, you'll just put the little one out there and just have it looking at the thing. You'll have to sync up. You'll have to get like a timing or some type of thing to figure out like how to sync them up. If you're going to do like that split view or side by side, I'd love to do that stuff. But yeah. So camera thing. The next thing is the type of videos. So there's some really what I would consider bad genres of GunTube that I don't think anyone's going to watch. Yeah, close up, like the targets, reactive, like ballistics, gel shooting, stuff like that. That makes sense with the GoPro. I do that. Right now we got a Placencia on deck. The Reserva Originals. These are like my daily go-tos, but I'm a big fan of Tatuaje, big fan of Placencias. Most things Drew Estates as well, with cigars. So yeah, if I could get Cubans again too, that's all you'd see me smoking. I used to smoke Monte Cristo number 4s like they were Marlboros. Like I'd go through like 8 or 10 a day. Like it was great. But no longer are they priced like that, and can you get them in the country the same way? So, but going back to videos, there's like I think a few like types of videos that aren't going to get you any views. It's going to be a waste of your time, and it's going to kind of show like I think a little bit of desperation on channels. The first one is unboxing videos. Like I don't know anyone that's really like excited about unboxing videos. I thought they were dead and done with, but I've been seeing them lately pop up in my algorithm. And it's like, I don't watch unboxing videos. Why are these popping up? Like, I think unboxing videos are a waste of time because you can't really give an opinion on anything aside from, like, the packaging and how it arrived. Like, you know, if you wanted to review, like, okay, UPS damaged it or FedEx damaged it, that's a good video, maybe. If you want to say, like, you know, it arrived in this, you know, mammoth ivory case. Yeah. Oh, the Nicaraguan Cohibas. The Cohiba Red Dot, the black, I really like. And then they got, what is it, a Weller or a Pappy one? I'm trying to remember which one they do. But that's pretty good, too. But back on topic, because chat comes first, then we get back to topics. The unboxing vids are kind of useless, I think. Don't film it. It just makes it look like you're just trying to like get content sometimes. That's a good point, West Virginia. You know, like if you get like I know I got a Canic once and it came with like 1,000 baubles, pieces, all that stuff. Like if you want to show that, but if you're like unboxing an AR upper, that's pretty boring for the most part. And I've done that unboxing video. I did one on my V7, but it was because I was excited and there's not really any content on V7s. But if you're unboxing a Glock at this point, it's kind of a waste of everyone's time. You're probably not going to get views on it. And if anything, it like if you have subs, it might be people are like, I'm tired of seeing this bullshit. And then they just unsub from you. The next one that I've been seeing like higher end people do, and I think it's like the sign of a dying channel. You know, there's some people like when they do it like once a year, twice a year. Like I know Focus Trip does it once or twice a year, but like reviews builds. But you see people that'll do it on like a weekly basis. Like send in your carry setup to me and I'll tell you if it's good or not. Like they don't know your situation. They don't know your predicaments. It's just a way because they couldn't come up with ideas or they didn't have anything original to show you or an opinion or anything valid that they're like, you create the content for me. And I'll just be either ultra friendly, I'll just stick to my cliches, or I'll be an asshole to these people and just say, you're going to get yourself killed in the streets, you know? So yeah, I think the like rate my setup videos like if they're done on a regular basis, are pretty pointless. There's not much value there. The other thing, and this one is kind of newer, but like we saw it with like Trench and a few others, is like the round count tests and the burn downs. Yeah, it is lazy as hell. That's kind of my thing. Is it's like it's a sign of someone who doesn't like making content anymore. Necessarily, they're just out of ideas. They're just not really passionate anymore about it. But the other one is round count reviews. So yeah, long-term reviews definitely better than unboxings. I would love to hear high round count or long-term or maybe like weather and wear videos. Those would be good. But I've seen guys here where they do like 100-round test, then they do a 200-round test, they do a 300-round test, they do a 400-round test, they do a 500-round test. You see where this is going. They get up to 1,000 sometimes. But like they'll just do like short, well, yeah, like they'll do a burn down, but it's like you're never going to put it through that same thing probably. You know, it'd be like if I just redlined my truck to see how long I could redline it for. That really doesn't prove like the durability of the engine. Like the Golden Web burn downs, all that really is, you know, the science between like barrel, the metal, and like the gas tube. It's not like the actual gun durability or anything like that. But I see people doing pistol reviews where they do 100 round, 200 round, 300 round, 400 round, and they're just farming content out like that. But nothing happens. So like if you're a viewer of said channel, you've watched 10 videos of nothing happening. When that guy could have just done maybe like, hey, there's an update. Glock update on my range day update. Like that's better. That's more valuable. Yeah. If you let stuff cool down or do like moderate strings of fire. I mean, my Berettas, I shoot like 300 rounds out of like my 92 every time I go to the range. Like, so, you know, I expect it to get through 300 rounds relatively easy. I don't think that's a big demand. I'm not shooting them as fast as I can as back to back. I take a few breaks in there and things like that because the actual frame will get hot and I don't want to shoot like that necessarily. But I think like the round test and everything like that are kind of going the way of the, you know, the dinosaur. They're running out because in my experience, if you have an issue, it usually presents itself in the first 1,000 rounds. And all you have to do is make one video that says, I got this issue, and then another video that says, here's what the company did to fix the issue, or they told me to piss off. That's it. That's all you need to make on that. Or if you sent it to the company and they finally got it running, then you could do some more content on that. But doing like a new video every 100 rounds, every 200 rounds, I think is kind of ridiculous. I don't think that's good content. I don't think you're going to get clicks on it. I don't think anyone's going to take you seriously. And it's partly because in the video that I have coming out next week, I talk about, you know, how Ben, Joel, Nick, Bear Solutions, Matt Pranka, Mike Pannone, Mark Smith, all these guys that, David Wampler, all these guys that are shooting a lot, they put 1,000 rounds through a gun in a weekend. Like, you making 10 videos that are 20 minutes each about 100 round range day is almost useless. I can watch their one video that's maybe 14 minutes long and find out what the first 10,000 rounds were like through a gun. And someone else who's trying to make content, and I'd have to watch, you know, 100 minutes just to get to 1,000 rounds. Like, I'm not going to subscribe to that channel. I'm not going to keep watching that channel. It's not interesting at that point. So that's where I think, like, finding your niche, curating it, and not getting stuck in, like, what used to work. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's just like finding your niche, making content, and not chasing like what YouTube used to do 5 years ago. Like in my video, I talk about how now like a lot of the channels have moved away from big production content. Like Garantham was doing all these intros and all this wild stuff. Brandon Herrera had big intros and stuff. But when was the last time you went and like were excited for their content? For me, it's been at least a year, I think. Like the AK-50 video was like the last Brandon Herrera video that I was like, okay, like I want to see this. I thought that intro was a banger, no lie. The Deadpool intro, that was great. But like the actual content, eh. And then Garantham is the same thing, you know. Watch me shoot this target from 5 feet away and tell you how well this rifle groups. Like, granted, it's got production value, like some, you know, big Hollywood type thing, but it's entertainment. You like people nowadays on GunTube, I think, are going for information. They're actually using information. It's not just entertaining. I mean, it's fine when there's some things that are entertaining. Like you can joke about companies, like the SIG thing has been a big joke for how long. But I think just making like entertainment slop, like shooting White Claws at like point blank range, is lame. I mean, Brandon Herrera too. They did a video. It was him, Donut, and maybe it was Demo and someone else. And they had two teams, and they were testing how accurate rifles were, and they were shooting at plates with no optic and no iron sights. And I was just like, what's going on here? Like, why is this a video? Because it's like rage bait, where it's like, you can't tell me the accuracy of a gun if you have no way to aim the gun. Like, you can't tell, like, it doesn't even have iron sights. Like, that's ridiculous. So it's like people are creating rage bait. And I mean, rage bait works to some extent. We've seen Trench Grenade get tons of clicks and tons of subs, but you end up turning into a lol cow. So I would say rage bait is another thing you want to stay away from. You don't want to do sweeping generalizations because of something that you experience, which is anecdotal. Like, I might buy a Glock and have a bad experience, but for me to say that Glocks suck from that video is outlandish and ridiculous. Like, there's millions of Glocks out there. Me having an issue is probably, like, it's not even statistically significant at that point. So for me to make a sweeping generalization is just going to make me look like an idiot. And then you're going to end up, you know, like the dark side Phil of GunTube, where people are just there not to watch you because they find your content entertaining, interesting, or informative, but they're there to watch your downfall. And you don't want to get those types of fans because, you know, you guys saw like when Trench was going through some things, like he said that it was bothering him mentally, like not to, you know, hash it up. He was honest about that, but it's mentally taxing when you're getting trolled every day over stuff. Like, and it's because of that rage bait content. Like if he didn't make any rage bait content, which will give you that short-term pop, but in the long term, it's going to get people hate watching you and like cheering on your downfall. It's the same with like Tacticon Armament and some of these other channels where they're making stuff that, you know, is an outrage, and it gets them popular, it gets people talking about them, but not in a good way. So yeah, avoid rage bait content. Yeah, I mean, my history with Yankee Marshall, yeah. Yankee Marshall is one of those people that just lives purely on rage bait. He's like the Weekly World News. He's trying to get the most outrageous title on a video and hope that people are like, well, that, you know, Bat Boy found in North Dakota, you know, let's click on that and see what Bat Boy actually looks like, you know, and things like that. And he has a lot of clickbait where he does like a bait and switch. Like, I remember way back in the day, he's like, I hate this gun. And then you watch his video and goes, I hate this gun because of how good it is and how much I don't want to shoot my other guns. And you're like, okay, that's clickbait. Like, yeah, that's kind of like misleading. Yeah, see, I that's what every couple months I check in just to see how his channel's dying. You don't want to be that type of creator. And I mean, there's a lot of people that I hate watch. To be 100% honest, I hate watch Dark Side Phil. I hope that his channel goes down the tubes. It's miserable. I hate watch Yankee Marshall every now and then. Um, God, there's another one. Oh, the Prepared Father. Sometimes I feel bad, so but like I'll hate watch that. Yeah, it it's like there's some bigger channels. Golden Web too. I kind of hate watch. I really just like open up his thing and look at the comments of how people are like these burn downs don't prove anything, you know. But it's like everyone's there, and then they think that like because the KAC went 700 rounds, but the BCM went 800 rounds, BCM wins. You know, like it's so ridiculous. Some of that stuff. Ooh, I gotta light this again because I've been talking too much. Mmm, good cigar. But yeah, so with YouTube, you don't want to do clickbait. You don't want to do rage bait. You want to a running round count. Yeah, yeah. There was guys that were going in mine and doing like chapters. I thought that was pretty funny. Like skip part of this, and I mean I agree with it to some extent. Maybe sometimes I ramble and rant, and I think that's valuable. But it's like sometimes I saw people posting like he hates it because of this. Like it's like the conclusion. Like no one's gonna watch your video because that guy posted it. But which is kind of funny to me. I think making YouTube content like don't do like the Mr. Beast stuff. Don't chase the newest hotness. That's what's coming out in my video next week. It's like when I first got into YouTube, I thought, everyone's going to want to see the new thing. And you're not going to get any clicks or views. Like if I do a review on the Springfield Kuna, but you got Honest Outlaw, you have Grantham, you have Brandon Herrera, you have PSR, yeah, Civtac is the Mr. Beast of GunTubers. I agree. But yeah, if you have all those people doing Kuna videos, it's like people are going to get burned out and melted down on the Kuna. And the only way people are going to click on your video is if you have a really sensational title or a sensational thumbnail. And if you have that, you better be able to support it because, like what we found out with most things is the internet is forever and people don't forget. You can drum up, tweets from 2011 yet. And so if you say something, be ready. Like, here's how I got to that. Here's my personal experience and why my opinion is XYZ. Like, you should be able to defend it. That's what the AR tier list, that got me a lot of clicks right off the bat, the AR tier list. And that wasn't like rage bait. That's honestly like my experience. The first one was all brands that I've shot and things like that. People wanted to hear about more, but obviously from a financial standpoint, I can't buy every brand of AR-15. And I'm not big enough where they send me every brand of AR-15 to even test. So, I was doing, compiling on, my tier list too, of, what's the word on the street on these. I talked to some other big YouTubers and things like that. What have you heard about this? Here's what I've been seeing, checking, Reddits, checking other YouTube, checking, tweets, any of that stuff to get like a feel for things. That works as well. And I would defend it. I would say like, yeah, I haven't shot this, but here's the word on the street and why I feel that way. If you can bring new information to me, I'll change my opinion in a second. Because that's the other thing is you always want to be learning. Like if someone tells me, hey, you should do this, and I try it and it works, I'm going to adopt that. And it's the same way with shooting. If someone tells you, here, try this grip, and they're a grandmaster shooter, and you improve with it, you shouldn't go back to your old grip. You should keep doing the grip that they showed you because it made you better. Yeah. Yeah, the Kuna lately, people have just been raving about that. And I get it, even if it's good. But some of these companies shoot themselves in the foot. And today we saw an example of that. The Vortex Defender Enclosed Red Dot. How many videos are on your algorithm about that right now? Like, I saw at least 9 today, I think. And I get it. It's pretty cool. But you're seeing like all these people hit their media embargo and then just start releasing it. And it's all like, hey, I haven't put very many rounds through this yet, or I just got it, or I just did this. Like, none of it's definitive. It's almost in between an unboxing and, let's say, 1,000 round count video. Yeah, I think I watched your Kuna video. Because, like, you and Gear Know How, I think I watched both your videos on it. But, yeah, with GunTube in general, like, don't go chasing waterfalls, essentially. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. So it's like, if you shoot a lot of ARs, talk about ARs. If you like shooting handguns, shoot handguns and talk about them. I don't shoot shotguns that often, which is why you barely ever see me talk about a shotgun. I had a Mossberg 940 JM Pro, and that video's got a ton of clicks, but like I had a bad experience with it, and I haven't really bought a semi-auto shotgun since. Looking at a 1301, but yeah. Yeah, you want people to understand what they're getting into. Um, and I think it's really important if you can point out like things that are make or break or caveats for you. So, for example, the Walther PDP, that thing recoils like a horse, like out of the box. Like, I get it. You know, a lot of competition shooters shoot it, but they almost all have ZR tactical guide rods in there. So, like, you could do a video on a Walther, but you better be mentioning that on it. Like, if you're doing your fans a disservice or your viewers a disservice, yeah, the Franklin Armory, yeah. But if you're doing your viewers a disservice by not mentioning things that could end up to them having a miserable experience with a product, they're going to stop watching you, and it's kind of a disservice. So if you have like things that you had to buy or things that you feel like need changing, things that you would change, you should mention it. And even if you, I know there's a lot of channels too that they don't want to burn bridges because, you know, maybe someone sent them a gun for free and they don't want to burn that bridge. But I still think that you can tell people about the downfalls of something without completely burning a bridge. Like, if I was like, Vortex as a company sucks, that's one thing. That's uncalled for. But if I said like, you know, I have an example right now. I got like a Spitfire 3X Prism that I'm borrowing, and that thing is like kind of a pain in the ass already. And if I went through on like, okay, well, I don't like the reticle, I don't like, you know, the mount. The mount is very, you know, it's got tiny screws, tiny Torx heads. It needs one of those big nut mounts on the side instead. And it's like, why did they design the screws so that to get the mount off, you got to like have the whole thing basically like fall apart with the screws? Like, why not make them a little bit longer so that you could take it off without having to reattach the other side of the mount, you know? What's up, Jake? So I've just been talking about GunTube and what videos not to make, what cameras not to buy, stuff like that. So just to recap for Jake, don't get GoPros unless you're going to set them up for like ballistic gel, targets, things like that. For the most part, they kind of suck as far as cameras go. The Insta360, the Meta glasses, and then a regular decent phone is really all you need. Don't do unboxing videos. I don't think they'll get you anywhere. Don't do rage bait videos. Like, I think you get short term pop, but people end up like cheering your downfall and treating you like a lol cow and things like that. I think that recapped it pretty quick for Jake. Jake, and then I was just talking about the vortex. Like trying to keep up with the neighbors type thing, where it's like if I try to put out a review on every gun that Honest Outlaw reviews, I would be broke in a year probably. And like trying to keep up and do that content when you're starting out is going to put you in a hole like it did me. I have a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. I do pretty well financially, but I could have done a lot better financially on my channel if I didn't start buying like every Smith and Wesson that was released, or the new Canic or the new CZ or whatever it might be, because I wasn't even really that interested in those guns, but I thought like, oh, because it's new, it'll get clicks, and you don't want to go that route. Yeah, you got to pick stuff that you're actually interested in too. And that's what, for me now, like the videos I make are all stuff that I want to talk about, or a product that I was actually interested in. Even if it's a short video and it's a quick outcome, like the Aimpoint Comp M4. Like, I wanted to love that red dot, but my astigmatism was just trash with it. And I mean like really bad. Like Holosuns and all that other stuff work. Yeah. Yeah, they want they usually want people, I think, to like keep working on things, to produce multiple videos on it. I know that like some of the ones that I've worked with, so I've worked with Siley, I've worked with Griffin a little bit, I've worked with Vortex currently. I don't have the new enclosed site. I just saw some Prism sites and I was like, hit them up. Hey, do you guys have any T&Es of these? I would love to try those. But I think there's a way to review a product and not burn a bridge, but still give a valid critique of things. Yeah. If you're doing a one and done, it's like, well, this is my first range trip or my first 1,000 rounds on things, and then you're gone. It's like, yeah, Honest Outlaw, I think to his detriment, or his channel's detriment, he puts out too much content. Like, I think that's another thing to discuss. I think a good cadence to try to do is like once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe do a few shorts within there, for just like generating a few subs, a few clicks, things like that. Yeah, being honest with companies up front, and just where you're at, and like just giving honest feedback on videos and not being afraid to give that honest feedback. I think that's what people want. And I think that's what most good companies want too. They're okay with it. Like Siley, I had issues with the Bear, but that one's that's a good problem, Jake. A backlog like that. But I've had like Siley Bear where it didn't work out, but I didn't burn a bridge with Siley. I was like, hey, the other ones I've had have been fine, but this one was a miss for me. And it turns out they're discontinuing that now. So it's like, it can't just be a me thing. Like, it either didn't sell well or they got better stuff. Yeah, I think documenting the customer service is a good video to do. I think documenting how quick things were resolved, did it work when it came back, did they refund, all that stuff is a good video to make, because there's no company that's perfect. They're going to have issues, and how they sort those issues out, I think, is really important. If you go back not too long ago, Triarch, if you remember them, Triarch had those guns and they were having issues. and people were waiting years for their Triarchs, and then they were having issues and they were keyholing, and they couldn't get a hold of anyone at that shop, and they were just stuck with uppers that they waited a year for that keyholed immediately. Yeah, there's been a couple companies that just reach out to me out of the blue, and ask if I want to be an affiliate. That's one thing I will tell you. Starting out with YouTube, don't just post links to everything, and try and get your affiliate dollars. I think you have to carefully vet what you become an affiliate for and what you advertise that you're being an affiliate for. Because I'm technically affiliate for all this stuff, but you'll never see those links. You'll never see those clicks because I tested it and I didn't have great experience with it. I can't recommend it to my viewers. So I'm not even going to, like, even if you are really interested in something, I don't want to make money that way. On my channel. Like, I want to make money potentially on my channel if the things that I have vetted and like, if you're also interested in them, that it could potentially save you a little bit money, and then get like give me a little bit in return. Like if I get like a kickback from that, that's good. But you got to vet that stuff. You can't just be posting it out there, because sometimes some viewers going to have a bad experience, and then from there on out they might just start spamming your comments and spamming all this other stuff, and it's going to look bad, and no one's going to trust your affiliate links from there on out. A good microphone. Funny story about that. So my Sony ZV-1 came with like a shotgun mic, and I had no camera experience. So I just thought you screwed it down and that it worked. So for about 50 or 60% of my videos where I wasn't using a DJI mic, the sound quality was just coming from the onboard of the camera, which is kind of shitty. So I found out that I actually have to connect the shotgun mic with a little cable as well. And the video I just recorded yesterday, I think, was with the better sounding stuff. And it seemed better sounding because I didn't have to modify it during editing. Yeah. Yeah, the same with that. I have a SIG one, primary arms, all that other stuff. I've never gotten a free product. I've never even reached out to them. Yeah. Yeah. I just state, that you're an affiliate or it helps out the channel, all those things, if you're doing it. But honestly, like ad revenue, my favorite channel is probably Ben right now. I think he's hilarious. He's well informed. He's got the background, and everything he does, every video of his has interesting insight to it, and it's usually pretty entertaining. So I would say Ben's up there for me right now. I used to watch a lot of ballistics testing channels, but it seems like those have all fallen by the wayside, or they're just not doing it anymore. I get it. It's pretty expensive. But what was that guy's name? He was from Tennessee. Tennessee something. But he always did ballistic gel. TN Outdoors 9, I think. That guy, I love his channel. Whenever he's doing ballistics tests. He was great on it. I don't like the tools and targets guy very much. I've seen like a couple of his live streams. He's kind of an asshole. But that's just how he comes off to me. I'm not saying he's actually an asshole, but he comes off to me as an asshole. He does a lot of complaining on there, and not like in a fun way. I try to keep it a little lighthearted, a little funny, things like that. But yeah, Ben would definitely be probably my favorite channel right now. And if you look at his setup, he's just running, Meta glasses and out of a hotel laptop or whatever it is with a webcam. But yeah, having good audio is nice. Being able to edit that audio. So that's the other 2 cents is I switched over to DaVinci Resolve because for what I do, it's free. I was paying like 24 bucks a month for Adobe Premiere Pro and not utilizing any of that extra stuff really. Like, you'd see a thing that would come up and be like, subscribe and all this other, but like, that doesn't really, I don't think that really works anymore. Like, just telling people to subscribe or making good content probably does a lot more than that. But yeah. Premiere Pro is expensive. DaVinci so far, I've really liked it. I didn't know this existed. And then I saw Focus Trip doing like an editing, and it was crazy how fast he was going. I'm not nearly as fast, but it's a lot easier to use than Premiere Pro. I'll say that. Got a little Minute Maid Zero. I haven't had caffeine in like 4 months. It's been wild. Yeah, Ben Steger. I watch him. I watch Joel. I watch Nick from Velox. I watch Drew from Bear Solutions is really good. Matt Prank has been doing a lot of content lately with the Tenecore. So the Tenecore YouTube channel has Matt on there, and he's giving like tips and stuff like that, and that's been really good too. I watch friendly channels or channels that are like friends of mine too. So I'll watch Jake's channel a lot. I watch Johnny B's channel a lot. Yeah. Yeah, TN Outdoors, he hasn't been making content lately the same way that he used to, but it used to be really good because he'd put all the handgun ammo up against each other. It was kind of like a YouTube version of Lucky Gunner Labs, but with all the video to back it up. So that was cool. Yeah. It's kind of, I think, everything. If you want to start a GunTube channel, basically get a phone, get DaVinci Resolve, and have topics that you want to talk about and things that you're interested in, where maybe you don't have to spend all your money on something new. That's kind of the summary. So, and trying this out, and it seems like it works a little bit, but who knows? Vintage Warfare told me last night that if you do a live stream with it horizontal like this instead of vertical, that it gets in the algorithm for your subscribers and people that might actually view your channel more than if you do it vertical. It's just going on the shorts page and people are just kind of casually scrolling through. So you might get more clicks on the shorts view, but on the horizontal one, it's actually like discussion like this. It's valuable, I think. So far, yeah. I was playing around with DaVinci the other day trying to create some of that fusion stuff, those fusion graphics, kind of like what motion graphics are in Premiere Pro. But I don't necessarily need that right now. I'm just fine just putting together my video and things like that. The other thing I talk about in my video that's coming out next week is lighting. All you really need is a ring light. I got like 2 big studio fluorescents on like each side of me. And I want to say there was like 70 bucks for lighting, but you can just get a ring light like 90% of the time. Have it around your phone and be recording yourself. Yeah, the DaVinci, I've been watching YouTubes on like how to do things, and it's surprisingly easy on some of it. I got to work on like doing the zooms and things like that. But yeah, Lever Boy, his visuals are superb. Never heard of Lever Boy. Maybe I'll check him out. Yeah, if you can film outside in the sun, things like that, it's going to look really good. If you go to like a range with membership where there's people shooting all the time, like I do, you can't really film like your talking parts at the range, or it would just be, worse than like Paul Harrell's Bear With Me, There'll Be Gunfire. It'll be like one stall away, and you can't really record anything. So that's where I just film in my garage. Once I get my own land, potentially, I'll probably just film out on that. And I'll probably switch to mostly like ballistics testing, to be honest. And yeah. I don't do any color grading. I actually saw like tactical considerations doing color grading on his, and I was like, oh, what software is that? And that's how I learned about like DaVinci. Um, I thought it would be like expensive and all these other things, but yeah, the color grading I don't really mess with. Whatever my camera's picking up, I do on my camera when I'm filming myself in my garage. I set like the shutter speed and all that stuff manually, so that I get kind of the lighting and brightness that I want. Because otherwise, it goes way too bright by like automatic. It goes way too bright for me. So I just do manual exposure, and I just had to teach myself a little bit on camera work, like the difference between the ISO and like the shutter and all this other, like the whatever the F, the focus. So there's like an F and there's an ISO, and you got to balance those out. Yeah, just sending it. But I got an interesting video I think I'm working on too. I actually just bought a Glock for the first time in like 6 years, and I'm really excited to shoot it this weekend. Like, actually excited. It feels a lot better than I remember, and it's going to be interesting because back when I owned Glocks, I was kind of like your typical range dude, where like I'd go there and shoot like 2 or 3 mags or maybe a box and call it like a range trip. And now I shoot like 300 at a minimum with things, and I've been shooting a lot more often. I've been getting a lot better. I've been watching, doing dry fire, all those different things. Um, Gonna compete with Jake hopefully in a bit. I got all the things in place to do some pistol shooting. Gonna try to shoot Steel Challenge, USPSA, maybe IDPA as well, with things. And then eventually, I gotta get a PCC like Jake. I was looking at actually PCCs. I'm either gonna do like a bearing delay upper or a JP5. I think the Mean Arms, which they're $2,000 for either upper. But if I go into PCC, I want to go into PCC all the way. MPX, huh? I hear good things. I would love to get the Ronin Arms MPX that 1911 Syndicate did a video on, where it was like the integrally suppressed. Like it's like a MPX SD. That thing would be cool. But yeah. I also thought about getting like a Vector with an FRT, and then taking that to like classes. Or not classes, but like competitions. Either way, I think I'm gonna buy a few more Glocks down the road. If I have a good experience with this one at the range this weekend, it's probably gonna open up a floodgate of Glock stuff. Unfortunately for maybe some of my viewers, but it's gonna be, I think, impossible to dethrone my PX4 GSD. Like from a utilitarian uh, perspective with a Glock, it I think it's way more utilitarian than the PX4 GSD. But the actual experience with a PX4 GSD is, yeah. Holy cow. That's wild. Man, you're in France? How's that working out for you? I know we're talking about GunTube, but man, France right now, I see that stuff in the news. Maybe it's just the news that's bad, like it really isn't that bad. But it looks like Paris is on fire, man. But I mean, like to Europeans, it sounds like we have school shootings like every day, which that isn't true. I know that isn't true. Um, so you never know if it's the news trying to blindside you or rage bait you into something. I think me and Johnny B have talked about dead internet theory a little bit, where most of the replies you see on Twitter are not actual people. Take care, man. Good luck on building that barn. But yeah, I think if I got my own land, I'd probably film videos just out in the daylight like this, save myself the lighting, and then have everything out there and be able to just go straight from demonstrating something or showing something and shooting it to talking about it. I think that gives you an advantage on things. Yeah. I missed that with how much that staccato cost, but I think I saw like 7,000, and that's wild. Yeah. Just gonna keep smoking this cigar, and then if you guys want to talk, chat. That was kind of just my summary, like do what you want to do. Don't get in too costly up front, and then don't make rage bait or unboxing videos or 100 round, 200 round, 300 round, 400 rounds. Hey, what's going on? I'll even say what up, fam, just to see you. But yeah, 2A in LA has his niche. He has his 2011 game on point, and then he's a big fan of the Taron Butler guns with things. So it's like, find your niche. Try not to get in too expensive when you're starting out on a channel, because you don't know necessarily what your niche is. You don't know what's going to hit for you until it does. Like, I thought the AR tier list video for me was just kind of like hey, let's just summarize this. I don't know if anyone's going to actually watch me drag these little brand names to a tier thing. And it's been my most successful video by far, like above and beyond. There's a couple other ones that I got a decent amount of clicks on, but if you look at how many subs I have and how many views that has, it's wild. Like, that one took off. And I don't know if it's to my detriment that I hit it kind of early with all those views, before I really understood how to do this YouTube thing. And I'm learning a lot. I still don't know that much about doing YouTube, but the whole monetization with GunTube too. I guess, that's a good point. The final lesson: don't get into YouTube to make money. You will likely not make any money. I think I'm 40,000 in the red. If you add up all the things that I've bought on my channel and done reviews and ammo that I've spent and range trips and trips to conventions and all those things, I got to be like 40,000 in the red. So, yeah, don't make a YouTube channel to make money, because you really got to be into it. You got to be into it for the long haul. So, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite now that I've said that, but I've probably got like a few more years in me as far as YouTube. But the second I stop running, or I start running out of stuff to talk about, you won't see me do a let me rate your gear every week or any of those type things. Maybe I'll do it once a year or twice a year, but you don't want to make that a regular video, because then it just shows you're running out of ideas. When I run out of ideas, I'll just shut the channel down. I'll just stop making content, at that point. Because you don't want anything that feels forced. We want all of our YouTube videos to be consenting. What else is going on, everybody? Yeah, I actually have a video coming out today, I think, actually, on the Griffin Armament dual lock system and how it works. And that's a sketchy one to make, because I didn't want to show me putting a suppressor on any gun, because you could get hit for that. And it was immediately demonetized, even though I only had the suppressor and I just showed like how the the lockup works on it, basically. And I appealed it, and they turned it around, which I was surprised about. But you really have to submit your rating correctly up front. That's a big thing. And then just do an appeal. See if you get that turned around. The the other thing is Rumble. Don't look to Rumble to be your saving grace. The amount of money, clicks, notoriety, fan base, and stuff you'll gain on Rumble is so awful. Like, you won't get anything there. I think I got like 70 followers, if that, on Rumble in the entire thing. And I've gotten like 60 clicks in the last month on Rumble. Like, it's not worth it. Rumble is not worth it. The only point of making things on Rumble is showing things that you couldn't show on YouTube. And potentially backing up all your videos if YouTube nukes your channel. But all right, we're just about at an hour, so I think I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna put some tunes on and finish the rest of the cigar. Thanks everyone for a good discussion. If you're watching this post live, I hope it was valuable to you. I got a video coming out next week on more of how to start your own GunTube channel, probably rehashing some of the items. But this live stream was some of the items that I know I missed out on. So yeah, take care everyone. Adios.